Hi friends, welcome to tutorial is, and in this video you are going to learn React hooks. So the question is, what is hooks in ReactJs? Hooks in React helps you to use state. If you check my previous video, then you will find that initially there is concept of more and more people used to use class components. Inside class component there is concept of state. Okay, but as the time passes and after particularly 16.8 version of this React.js, there is more and more people using functional component as compared to the class component, because functional component is very concise, very compact as compared to the class component. But there was problem before the 16.8, and the problem was there was no mechanism, there was no facility to handle the state in functions. That is why it was called stateless component. Since there was no concept of state, that is why it was called stateless component. So now after 16.8, this React.js brought the concept called hooks. So there are a few of the rules for hooks. Hooks are nothing but JavaScript function. Okay. So what is hooks? It is JavaScript functions. There are following rules. Only call hooks at top level. Okay. So inside the function you have to call this hook in the top level. Don't call hooks inside loops. In any loops you cannot call the loops, conditions or nested functions. Okay. So this is the second one. Call hooks from React function component. Okay. And the fourth one is don't call hooks from regular JavaScript function. It's not possible to call hooks in regular JavaScript function. So first we will see UseState. As I mentioned before, that in the function it was not possible to write and maintain the state in functional component. But after 16.8, the new concept came called hook, and through which it is possible to maintain the state in function also. And you have to use state function for that. UseState function, UseState is replacement of state in the class component. As I mentioned before, in the class state there was concept of class state, so that is UseState is replacement of that. UseState function is used to maintain states. To use that, what you have to do, first you have to import React UseState from React. First we have to import UseState, this function, then you can use it in your application. This UseState has two parts. The first part is value and second part is function. So now let's see with practical example. So let me go inside my command prompt and then cd React C class, then cls npx create React app use state, then press enter, a new application will install here. Okay, so now it's installed. Then I'll write here cd use state. Remember, this is a very important function which you will always use in React.js. So npm start, and in the meantime let's go here and open in Visual Studio Code, close folder, then open folder with my D drive, React class, yeah, this one. So UseState here, src app.js. What we'll do, just remove everything here, and here I put here empty container. So as I mentioned before, first thing which you need to do is import this UseState. Okay, and you cannot write here inside a function return. Okay, you need to write here at the top level as I mentioned before. So I will write here a very simple function like this here. So this is first program of our UseState. So remember, so how, let's understand this structure. Okay, first we are calling here the UseState, and then we are initializing here initial value. So the initial value is 0 here, and this is important. Here are two parts. The first part is its value, this one is value, okay, and this one is function. So whenever you need to update something or do something, then you have to use this handler function, and the value will get updated here. Okay, once again let me repeat here. The left side is the value holder and this one is function. That means whatever changes if you want to make here, then you need to use this function, and this is 0 initial value. So now inside this, if you want to read its value, then just write here this count, because this is the value. So if you now have it run it, yes. So let's open here, and you can see the initial value is 0, right? Now we will write here a button inside this here. So what we have written here, button on click. Okay, on click, then there is function, this arrow function, and then set count. Now you see, as I mentioned before, that this is handler function. Okay, so when we click this, then this function will be called, and the parameter of this function will be updated. So what will happen? 1 will be added. So that means initial value is 0, and when we click, then it will be 1. Once again, 1 plus 1, 2 plus 1. So this way it will be increasing the counter when you click the button. And so this example is very small, but it's very important to understand. So when we click, then this set count function is called here, and the value is passed here. So if you check here in the browser here, let's click, then as you can see here, let me make it bigger. Value of counter is, and then bold, let me make it bold here. Okay, now if you check here, then you can see, if you refresh, it's showing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so how it's working? When you click this button, then this function is called, and then this button, then function is called, and after updating this, the value of this one is showing here in 5. Let's take another example here. So in this case, remember, more than one state can be here. Use state function you can use here. So I'll write here name, then upd name. That means update names. And initially here, use state, and inside this we will pass here say Umar. Okay, and then once again I will change its value after clicking. So I write here button on click, and then set function, we will write here arrow function, and then upd name, inside this we will pass our name value. Okay, and here let's close the button here. Button, so will be change name here, and then we will show here, but this time the name I will pass here. So this time I will pass name here Rajesh. Okay, UPD name, change name, and then here I will call this your name is then name. So initially the name will be showing here. Let's do one thing, just put here via HR. Beer HR we cannot use here. Okay, so let's see the result here. Initial state is Umar, right? This one. This is our initial state Umar, and when we click the button, then this will get updated with the help of this function, and this will be the value which will be inside the parameter. So this is initial value, and then after updating, the new value will be set from here inside this, and the new value will show here. Let me explain again how initial value, this one is showing here. Now when we click this button, then what will happen? When we click this button, then through this function we will update its parameter, that means enter name. Okay, and then in new name we'll have now updated name, and that is Rajesh. So let's click on this button, and you can see the name has been changed here. So this way, this is a very simple example to show you how to update the state in ReactJs functional component. And remember, inside a function there can be many states. For example, and also data type will be different. For example, you see this, it can hold number, it can hold string, and it can hold also objects. Okay, so that means UseState hook, as you know, it's a function, so it can contain string, number, even the array and object inside this. So in this case, as you can see, this is object, right? If you want to show the value, then you can show like this, to do's, then dot text, to do dot text, then learn hooks, it should show object value. So here B, and then what B, so B, and then here B. So if you refresh, then you can see object value. Once again, it's not showing here. So to do's, let to do, then insert that text. Oh, we need to remove this, then it will be an object. So now it should show. Yes, here you can see it is displaying learn hooks. So what you learned, inside hook there can be object, that means more than one value. For example, this is text, and then here can be Java, then powerful language. Okay, so if I write here Java instead of this, then it will show this value. Java. So now you can see powerful language. That means what? This UseState function can hold single value as well as multiple values and also arrays and object. And suppose now you want to use an array also. That means multiple object inside this. So in that case you can write like this square bracket, then this one object, one array and second array. Okay, this is first array and this is second array. If you want to access value like this, then you can do like this, because since this is first array, so its index is 0, this is second array, so its index value is 1. So you need to pass here to do 0, then text to do 1. Normally this is this we can show through a for in loop, but here and I have just passed here directly this index, but this can be shown through for in loop. So guys, this way you can use this UseState function or hook. So now if we want to update through function, so how it's possible? Okay, suppose let's delete this, we will keep this one only single value. So if I want to update this one, then I will write a function here, say update vals equals to function, and then here function, that means this one, and here we will update here set to do's. So right here set this function set to do's, and then here parameter. So let's pass here like previous value, that means then once again so we will write like this, set to do's, then previous values, and then here return we will use here three-dot operators, and this value Java old language. Okay, now let's update this as well. So let's call here another button. Okay, then div close, and here we will call this function this time. So this you can see there is function inside function. Okay, so just call this function this time, and here will be like this. So we will write here change language. Now let's see. Okay, so it says there is some curly braces mistake here, so there is mistake here in this case. Oh, it looks like I have put here one extra, because this function will be closing here, so the function was closing here only, that's why I guess there is error. So update value is not defined, update vals is not defined. Where is update vals? This update vals, okay, this one, and here let's update this with simple update vals, not this will be not a function here. So update vals, and then so let's remove this and make it update vals only, this like this. Okay, because we are directly calling here function on click. Okay, here we need to write const update values. Okay, so now let's see. We need to write here constant. Okay, so before the function. Now, okay, there is some error. It says undefined reading text. Yes, it's because we have removed array from here. From here we have removed array. There is only object, so we can directly call it rather than passing this. Also, we have removed the first one. That's why there is no such text. Only there is to do. To do text. Yes. To do the text. Yeah, so now it's changed. So here it will see change language. Okay, change language, change name, change language. So initial language is to do job JavaScript. Here Java, not JavaScript. To do dot JavaScript. So initial value of will be this. It's actually object value. Powerful language. Okay, it's saying powerful language, and when we update or to remove the confusion, let's delete everything and let's keep this one maybe, then it will be easier for you to understand. And also let's delete all these things, just keep it. So yes, text was there also. And Java, we are updating Java, the value of Java we are updating here. Okay, this time. So initial value, it will show powerful language, and when we click, then it should show this old language. So powerful language, click, then old language. This time we are updating the value from function itself. Last time we had created function here. In other case, you can see we had created function here directly, and we were directly updating the value here. But in this case, and in general, you will always use this kind of syntax. We will just call here function this, and the whole function will be written like this. And remember, this one is spread operator. Okay, so inside operator of spread operator, what happened? The value is updated and appended. So how it's working? Here we have UseState. Inside that we have object. Object has two key value, and then we have declared a function here. Inside function there is another function, which is this one, and here we have passed a parameter here, and inside parameter here once again in this set to do. Now we are updating this value Java, this one. So actually this one will be updating the actual to do's and catching this one. So guys, that's it in this video, and hope you like this UseState video. And in the next video we will discuss about UseState. So thanks for watching. Bye bye, and you please check my other video also, use effect, so which we will discuss in next video. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.